guys, and welcome to another video. So some of you might know that I moved house recently, which is why I have all these lovely books behind me, because I finally have a room with where I can put bookcases. But that also means that I've been unpacking like a lot of boxes with books, some of them that I hadn't seen in ages, and I figured that I wanted a way to read more books that I've had forever. So that's when I came up with the Forever book tag. There are probably like a million tags like this out there, but I was just a bit too, I don't know, lazy I guess to look it up, so I just made my own. So this is kind of like a tag challenge kind of thing to read a couple of books that you've had for ages but never got around to reading. Okay, so the first one is read a classics that has been gathering dust. So I have a lot of classics and I haven't read all of them by a long shot, so I decided to read Oliver Twist. A few of these books, by the way, overlap with each other, like this can answer a few of the other questions as well, but this is a book that I've been meaning to read for ages. The only book I've ever read by Charles Dickens is Great Expectations, and I needed a book as well, just a small book to put in my purse, and this is pretty small. It's actually a lot bigger and thicker than it looks because it has like those really thin Bible pages with really tiny letters, but so far I really like it. I love basically the sarcastic voice of the narrator is amazing. It's so brilliant, and yeah, so I've already started reading this one. Next on my TBR list is read a tome, a book that's so thick that you just never picked it up. I had a couple of these, but I decided to go with Little Women by Louise May Alcott. This is also one of the books that I've wanted to read for ages and never did, and my version at least is gigantic, and the letters aren't that big inside, so I don't know, there's probably smaller versions, but this, yeah, it's been on my shelf for a while now, and I always want to read it, but it's just so thick that I never pick it up, so this is going on my TBR list. By the way, you can read these books like in a month, in a week, in a year. Doesn't matter, it's your own challenge. Just make sure that you have a little pile next to your bed or somewhere, that you see them and that you make a commitment that you want to read them. Next is a book that you don't think that you would otherwise read this year. Might be a little bit fake, but just a book that you bought or you got or something and you want to read it, but you just don't feel like it, and you kind of know deep down that you're not gonna read it this year, or probably next year or the year after. And for me, that is The Lovely Bones, a book that I've had for ages and ages. I have seen the film. I think I bought the book before I caved and saw the movie. But yeah, I've been meaning to read this for, I think, like 10 years. How old is this book? For a long time. So here it is. Next is read a book that's not quite your genre. So this might be a book that you've heard about and you kind of want to read, or maybe you have it on your shelves. You could also borrow it if it's just one of those books that you want to read. But you don't really pick it up because it's not really the genre you usually read in, because I usually read fantasy, young adult, and I don't know, classics and sci-fi, I guess. But this is a little bit sci-fi because it's The Princess Diaries by Carrie Fisher, a sort of memoir. I don't normally read memoirs. I've read like one or two biographies, but yeah, I don't normally read those. So this is definitely one of those books that I definitely want to read it, which is why I bought it. It's gonna be a bit sadder now to read it now that she passed away, but it is on my TBR list. Next is a book that someone gave you. For me, it's this one. It's Bartimaeus, The Amulet of Samarkand by Jonathan Stroud. My parents gave me this book. I haven't had it for that long, but I've had part 2 and 3 for years and years and years. So yeah, I definitely want to read this, and I just know if I don't do it now, I'll probably won't read it very soon, because there are a lot of books that are up on my TBR list, and this probably wouldn't really have been in there this year, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, this is a book that my parents gave me. And there's a book that you wish you'd read, but you never did. So for me, it's A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Anglais? I don't know if she's French or something. I don't know, but anyway, I've heard a lot about this book, and it's been on my wish list for ages, and then I bought it, and then it's been on my shelf for ages, and I really wanted to read it, but for some reason I just never got around to read it. So this is the book that I've always wanted to read but never did. So yeah, that's it. If you finish this challenge, you will have read 6 books that you wouldn't have read otherwise. If there's one of these questions that doesn't apply to you, just take a book that you've had for like 2 years or more from your shelf and read that one. But yeah, I'm gonna read these the next few weeks. I haven't really set myself a time limit, but I kind of want to just get to these books as soon as possible and maybe like allow myself to read 1 or 2 books in between. But I am gonna focus on this file here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to do it or tag people and let me know if you do this tag. But any of you who are watching this and want to do this tag, I tag you. You are tagged. You're welcome. So I'll leave all the questions down below in the description. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, like this video if you liked it. And I will see you soon with another one. Bye!